Every season I document the changes happening in my garden, all of the hard work and the results, in order to praise us and the nature for everything we've got. And this is the celebration of the season of 2025. Despite the fact that there is a huge amount of work with planting seeds and growing those seedlings for several months before spring allows to plant them into the open, I had the idea of starting my story from early May. That is the moment when things are officially getting crazy, as we hustle around the garden, planting everything, prepping everything, and then covering everything from returning frosts. For some reason, May is the month that you anticipate the most, as during May you start getting your first homegrown fresh vegetables. And I'm always genuinely happy when I'm filming these moments. It's like giving that forbidden candy to a child. And I always marvel at how winter can reset all of the senses and tastes, and even the perception of happiness. During May is when I get all of those cravings for sensational tastes I can get from my garden. I have successfully grafted my roses that I have here to the rose hip, creating this kind of a tree in a way. I performed 2 graftings. As you can see, that is the successful result. And my first grafting of the apple tree finally is in full blossom. I hope to get some apples because, you know, the story behind the grafting is a surprise one. So I wasn't even hoping that I'm going to get any success with it because it was my first try. I wasn't even expecting that. 2 different varieties. That is the one that I surely know how it's going to look like. The same here. I know this varieties. But this one is also special because I had a tree growing, a very small apple with really nice apples for winter consumption, and the hair damaged the apple completely. I was hoping for it to recover, but it wasn't recovering, so kind of like grafted it. And last year, the tree died. So literally that is the continuation of this tree. The moment everything is planted, that's when some of the most interesting things start to happen. The nature is bursting with life, provoking some rapid and striking changes around you. And those thunderstorms you forgot about during winter start waking you up. And that is where I am officially feeling the beginning of the season. Each season brings a new challenge, and this time we were fighting with the hare. You could spot earlier the first time I saw the hare. Back then I thought that it lost its way, but it was reappearing over and over again until it damaged some of our young trees. And that was the moment we started fighting for the plants, buying more nets and covering everything, and so far without any losses. started getting our main crop of cucumbers, and you know that the first cucumber I picked was in May, but that is the summer crop. That's why I start getting even a tiny bit of the crop and then putting into jars. One major recollection of this season was when I decided to renovate the house out of the blue. I was planning to paint it for a very long time, but for some reason I decided that July was the perfect time for that. And it was a mind-blowing change. And I even have a separate video about that. Check it out if you're interested in what I was doing. Remarkable. For now, I have counted 26 peppers, give or take, but I think it's going to make 30 for sure. And they're not of small size, they're growing into a decent size peppers. And it's really a record breaker for me this summer. Though I'm really worried about the plant because it's just at some point it might crack. So that is the beauty of the harvest. It's pretty heavy
actually, and the bulbs are of nice size. These the onions which are planted from the onion sets. These are for now the biggest, which I harvested from the onion sets, and that is actually a very nice size because they're going to grow bigger if they are planted from the seeds but not from onion sets.
Even though in August the season is slowly coming to an end, but that is the most favorite part of the season for me. And that is one of the reasons why I keep filming every single day and introduce a vlogist during this period of time. August is a blissful month, as you're blessed with harvest and finally start getting the fruits of your labor. Despite my strong desire to film every day during the month of August, something unexpected happened in the mid of August when I embarked on the journey, having my first road trip to Karelia, the trip that I also documented for you. And if you missed this trip, you can watch it. I divided into several parts. That's why I missed 2 weeks in that period of time and returned back when it was already late August.
I think that it is going to be the only heavy watermelon that we're going to get during this season. Honestly, rainy weather did spoil the harvest, and I was really hoping for great harvest. I planted so many watermelon plants. Unfortunately, they are all gone, and what is left here is basically what was formed during June. I'm picking them beforehand because there were already 2 watermelons that were completely rotten, and I'm afraid that it's going to kind of go the same way. That's why it's better to eat it pinkish rather than to have it rotten. So I'm going to cut it. It seems that it is completely ripe, which is a really good thing. I wish you could see the face of my mum at the moment because she is really happy. We were afraid that it would not be ripe. So yeah, I think we are going to enjoy tremendously this only watermelon that we are going to get from this summer. It's unfortunate, but we all have to adapt. We all have to get a lot of harvests that enjoy, the plants that enjoy this weather, and unfortunately the plants that do not. Now, in the very end of August, it's high time to pick what is left from the onion. I have left the biggest bulbs to grow more. I'm going to weigh them because they are the biggest out of everything that I got, and hopefully I can break my the record of last year, but I don't think so. This time the bulbs are slightly unusual because I planted a red variety of the onion. So let's pick together. So they're slightly flat, as you can see. But I believe that their taste is going to be sweeter in comparison to a normal one. So that is by far the biggest out of the red variety. And it's really unusual. And slightly heavy. These ones are also pretty nice. I didn't plant many of them because I just wanted to give them a try, to give them a go. And I just love what I got. I'm going to weigh the biggest of them because for me it's pretty interesting to what size they can grow. And now I'm going to harvest the yellow varieties. I don't think that they are as cute as they were last year, but I'm going to find it out. So that is the late harvest. And it's pretty nice to get something like this in the very end of August. Let's begin with the red onion. So it's like 450. This one is 600. $500. This one is 400. And I think that this one is also going to be around, it's like 436, which slightly less than last year, because last year there were a lot of bulbs that were around 600 grams, which was really surprising for me. But the surprising fact is that this one is 600. So I think it's an illusion, the form, because I thought that is going to be around like 300 or 400, but it turned out to be 600, which I did not expect at all. We are closing the season, and it's really nice to get the results, the ones that do break the record, and with the help of which you can make the conclusion. This year it feels like I really want to finish earlier, because I just want to have some sort of the rest. This year was pretty challenging in terms of the weather. The weather was crazy. It was just like, it was so strange, and August is pretty strange. So I told you that they are going to be ginormous this year, and these are the carrots I'm going to take with me. There are different sizes, of course, but I'm completely satisfied with everything. And also there are different varieties, so they're going to be different carrots in their shape. So I've got an entire bucket and also picked the finest ones to show you. And I'm pretty satisfied with the result, but the variety that I loved the most is called Canada. I showed it to you before, and it generally, like, of this size, it's enormous. They are almost all of them are identical. So I'm going to pack the carrots and move to the beetroot.